A few weeks ago, I dropped a video here on the channel about Ultra Ego Vegeta, explaining the transformation and how it worked for Vegeta, and it wound up being one of the most popular videos I've put out in a very long time. It really wasn't a surprise though, because we're talking about Vegeta, one of the most popular characters in Dragon Ball, if not the most popular character in the West, and Beerus, the god of destruction, and Vegeta using his power. And it's something that people have wanted for years and years. So I noticed that people actually were asking for more videos about the connection between Vegeta and Beerus, because there's a lot more to it than what I talked about in that video. Vegeta, from even early childhood, may have been destined to tap into the Ultra Ego power, the power of a god of destruction, that is. So on today's video, I want to examine the parallels between Beerus and Vegeta, and why he was kind of meant, in many ways, to be Lord Beerus's #1 student. And I think he'll continue to be that in the near future for Dragon Ball as well. Let's talk about it. If you're a Vegeta fan, if you're a Beerus fan, this is the video for you. I think you'll like it. Let's go. There's a lot of edgy Vegeta shirts out there, but none like this. This is the first ever Ultra Ego Vegeta shirt. Instead of following Kakarot, be like Vegeta and walk your own path through life. Now available in the Geekdom 101 store. You can get it in multiple sizes, even up to 5X, and numerous colors, which you can preview right here on the website, plus different styles of shirts as well. You can also get phone cases and stickers and posters and all kinds of different ways to view this awesome art. But remember, these are all limited edition, so pick yours up right now. The link will be in the description to buy the Ultra Ego Walk Your Own Path merch line. Although Beerus is one of the newer characters in Dragon Ball when it comes to the grand scheme of the series, he was introduced in 2013's Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods and did not exist during the original run of Dragon Ball DBZ in the original manga. He has a long-running history with not only Vegeta, with the Saiyans and Frieza and whatnot, that stems back decades. The way Beerus and Vegeta's relationship was portrayed in both Battle of Gods, the anime, and the movie, is one of kind of a bullyish type of situation. Vegeta, and even Vegeta's father, King Vegeta, was incredibly fearful of Beerus, while King Vegeta was kind of his bitch, for lack of a better term. There is an actual scene in the series, a flashback that Vegeta has, where we witness King Vegeta under Beerus's foot, like a bitch. And that one moment, think about this, that one moment traumatized Vegeta so much that he would never even attempt to fight Beerus until he saw his wife getting slapped, and that would lead into him going into that awesome My Bulma rage mode. But before then, he felt like Beerus was pretty unstoppable. I want you to think about this for a second, okay? The only other time we've ever seen Vegeta react this way, there was two other times. One was in the Dragon Ball Z Broly movie, the original Broly movie, where he literally is terrified of facing off against the legendary Super Saiyan, but that was not written by Toriyama, so you can move that to the side if you want. Most fans are going to say, "Bleh, it's not canon, it doesn't count." Some are going to count it, some are not, but I want to put it in here for the sake of having it in here. And the other time besides that was in the series, in the original manga, in fact, where Vegeta is fighting Frieza and literally gives up the will to fight when he realizes he has no chance against him. Other than that, Vegeta's a pretty brave dude. But even, Vegeta, after all the battles he's had his whole life, still fears Beerus. But there's a lot more to that scene than people really understand when you break down the mentality of Vegeta, the psychology behind Vegeta, which I love to do here on this channel. So we're going to talk about it. Vegeta was already raised to believe by his father and other Saiyans that the legendary Super Saiyan, the Densetsu no Super Saiyajin, is supposed to be a ruthless killer that could barely control his power. But when he first sees Beerus, and the way that Beerus punked out his own father cemented, even more than the behavior that his own father exhibited throughout his life, that being a bully and being superior and having no mercy is the right way to live. Now, obviously, Vegeta would evolve as Dragon Ball Z evolved, and he would, of course, grow out of that very beta mentality and really become a more whole person. However, this is the same mentality that Vegeta had throughout most of his life, including on planet Namek, when he's imploring to Goku with his final breath that he has to have no mercy and that Frieza must die at the hand of a Saiyan. This ideology, this mentality followed Vegeta throughout the majority of his life. However, the interesting thing is that Vegeta was wrong in how he perceived Beerus, because we later find out that Beerus's appetite for destruction is more so like Goku. It's more of an appetite for competition. Beerus craves challenge, but also Beerus seems to be a guy who's not really evil, and really being a bully and punking people out is evil. Beerus does have an ego, which would of course lead into Ultra Ego, and I discussed that in the Ultra Ego Vegeta Explained video, but nonetheless, Beerus is not really an evil dude in that he enjoys mercilessly killing people. He doesn't get satisfaction from it. He has to explain to Vegeta in the Granola arc that in order to become a proper destroyer, you have to let go of attachment. You have to let go of this guilt that Vegeta has. If not, he'll never be able to really tap into the maximum God of Destruction power. However, at the same time, it does make you wonder, why is Beerus so supportive of Goku training with Whis? Obviously, we saw Beerus nearly shit his pants in the Tournament of Power when Goku tapped into Ultra Instinct and when we saw the incredible power of Jiren for the first time. Do you think it could be possible that Beerus might want Goku to get as strong as possible so that Beerus could ultimately beat him to feed his own ego? Is that something that he would do? Now, that's not very Vegeta-like, because Vegeta would just want to surpass you. He doesn't really want you to get stronger, but he does view Goku, like he said in Resurrection F, as his measuring stick. The stronger Goku gets, the more it motivates Vegeta. Could Beerus be like that? It seems like Beerus is a bit more lazy than Vegeta when it comes to... I mean, you know, Vegeta's one of the hardest working guys in the series. Beerus is not. This is why so many people believe that Goku either has already surpassed Beerus or is going to sneak up on him, because Beerus likes to mess around too much and be lazy. Will Vegeta ever become that? I don't think so. It's not in Vegeta's nature. But notice that going all the way back to when Vegeta was first introduced, the parallels between him and Beerus are certainly noticeable. Vegeta's early introduction into the series, his ability to destroy ruthlessly, was probably the most highlighted aspect of the character in terms of power. And then we see him run through opponent after opponent during the fight on planet Namek. Yet, he still seems to be getting stronger and stronger. When Beerus is first introduced, all they talk about is his destruction capabilities. But when we first see him fight Goku, he uses more of a martial artist aspect to win. He knows pressure points, he knows Hapkido. I covered a lot of this in my History of Beerus Explained video, because the dude is much more than just a destroyer. He is a legitimate martial artist. Vegeta has the spirit of one and would become one as his life continued. Notice that both characters, though, act as measuring sticks for Goku. We talked about how Goku's a measuring stick for Vegeta, but Vegeta being so strong when he and Goku first fought at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z and the Saiyan Saga became a huge motivator for him. And the incredible power of Beerus at the beginning of Battle of Gods and throughout the entire movie, and even to this day, is what motivates Goku as well. We know this is a fact because even during the fight with Hit, which was much after the fight with Beerus in Dragon Ball Super, Goku remarks that he's been working on the Kaioken Blue specifically to beat Beerus. So he's got that rematch in the back of his head, and so do all of us as fans. Could it be that Goku is seeking this rematch as much as Vegeta was wanting to rematch Goku in DBZ? Is that what's going on here? There's a lot of very interesting connections between these characters. However, it seems like most recently things have come to light to make me really believe there's even more parallels between Vegeta and Beerus, especially in their bond as student and master in Dragon Ball Super's Granola arc. Vegeta and Beerus have similar ideologies when it comes to destroying things and being destroyers, even though Vegeta is still trying to understand and fully grasp that power that Beerus has had for who knows how long. You may look at the interaction with Granola, however, and maybe not fully understand what's going on. Let me explain. So, Vegeta, during his interaction with Granola, makes it seem like he wants to help Granola because he wants to genuinely help and make up for the things the Saiyans did to his people many, many years ago, and he wants to relate to him. But really, the end goal of Vegeta is not quite that. Go back and look at it. Vegeta is pushing for Granola for the same reasons that Beerus is pushing for Goku, and this is to ultimately feed his own ego by beating somebody who is stronger or as strong as they can possibly be. What good is it to beat someone who's not strong? What good is it to pick candy from a baby? That's why Beerus was so bored for so long. That's why when Beerus first met Goku, he was intrigued by him. And he was even intrigued by Vegeta. He talks about this at the end of Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, about how the Saiyans had this incredible potential. This is the first time in who knows how long that Beerus was unable to break someone. And this is intriguing for a martial artist like Beerus, very similar to Vegeta and Goku. Vegeta wants to beat you and prove your superiority. He wants to do it to Goku, and he wants to do it to even Beerus, believe it or not. Granola is just another opponent, another possible rival for Vegeta. And Beerus is not that different when you think about it, although he does seem a heck of a lot more lazy, like I said before. But go back to Dragon Ball Z. Vegeta always wants you to be at your absolute best so he can beat you. Why did Vegeta allow Cell to become perfect? Yeah, it was a boneheaded move. We all can agree on that. But it's because Vegeta wanted to placate his own ego and beat Cell in perfect. He failed at it, but that's what he wanted to do. Don't forget the speech that he gave Goku Black when he was whooping his ass. He saw that Goku Black got stronger, but he realized that Goku Black was just a counterfeit Goku and that Vegeta was the genuine article. Remember how mad Vegeta was when he found out about Super Saiyan 3 and that Goku was toying with him? That, to me, is exactly who Vegeta is. He does not like being screwed around with like that. Let's examine the conversation that Beerus and Vegeta have in Dragon Ball Super about the Saiyan race. This is a very important moment because it was the moment where Beerus confessed to Vegeta, right to his face, that he was the one that okayed Frieza destroying planet Vegeta, that he was fine with it. And that is a moment that fans have been waiting for years, because they thought, a lot of us thought, that when Vegeta found out, he was going to try to kill Beerus. But that's a misunderstanding of Vegeta's character, because like I've said dozens of times before, and so many Vegeta fans don't even understand this guy, Vegeta does not give a fuck about the Saiyans anymore. He stopped caring about them decades ago. He doesn't care. He does not care about them anymore. However, him finding this out was even more interesting and more important for his development, because we find out that both Beerus and Vegeta do what they do for similar reasons. Vegeta killed Nappa, his best friend for who knows how long, because he was defeated by Goku, whom Vegeta perceived to be a low-class warrior at that time. This is before Vegeta witnessed Goku's real power, and pretty much saw Nappa as being useless. More of a nuisance than anything else. Which is exactly why Beerus did not give a damn about the Saiyans. And neither does Vegeta. It always leaves me scratching my head when I see a Dragon Ball fan ponder why Vegeta won't resurrect the Saiyans, or at least try to. He does not care. He never has. He's actually said this himself multiple times. He calls himself the Prince of all Saiyans to remind himself of his status as a high-class warrior because of the fact that he was beaten by a low-class warrior, Goku, at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. That's why he refers to himself as that. It's not because he gives a damn about his race. He doesn't care. And neither does Beerus. So they've had that parallel as well. Also, you may have noticed that when Vegeta's in the Ultra Ego form, fighting with Granola, he's more animalistic. There's a few reasons for this, some of it having to do with the Eastern philosophy about karma, and that animals that act out of instinct are sort of above karma in a way. And Sun Wukong, who Goku is based off of, is a sentient ape but also kept his animal instincts there. There are some parallels between this and Ultra Instinct, but there's not enough to talk about in this video and not enough to really truly discuss, at least right now. But that's also a Goku topic, not a Vegeta topic. This is the Vegeta topic. So anyways, when it comes to Vegeta, however, Vegeta has to be purely in that destructive mode with no guilt and no sense of care about who he's destroying in order to really tap into that power, and that requires animalistic instincts. When an animal is attacked in the forest, he's not going to care what he kills as long as he stays alive, or she. Just look at any documentary about nature. It's all about survival of the fittest, right? That's the real sort of bottom line of Vegeta and Beerus' character. Survival of the fittest, survival of the strongest. Goku, on the other hand, is more of a pure martial artist. He wants to challenge himself and make himself as best as he can be. Vegeta and Beerus have similarities to that, but the way they approach it is different. In fact, Goku is one of the bigger commonalities between the two, because if you remember, both Vegeta and Beerus both first meet Goku and show him very little respect. But after fighting him is when the respect begins to build. Yeah, it took a lot longer for Vegeta, but he was also a lot more immature than Beerus. Beerus was able to figure out pretty quickly that Goku was a special guy. Vegeta was more envious of him, had that little dick energy for most of Dragon Ball Z, until finally, by the end of the series, he realized that Goku was, in spite of being a low-class warrior, still a very formidable foe and a fighting genius in many ways. And I like the fact that they respect Goku's methods and have an appreciation for them despite not agreeing with them. And that to me makes them both really more complex characters than people can understand. And remember, Beerus is a god. And for a god to show respect, I mean, we saw it in Dragon Ball Super, it's kind of a big deal. Beerus is pretty much what Vegeta has always wanted to be. And Vegeta, the more he's around Beerus, the more he trains under him, is becoming more like him. With the exception of maybe someday becoming lazy, which I never see Vegeta ever doing, I could see Vegeta for sure learning how to master Ultra Ego and becoming not a god of destruction as far as rank or as far as actually having that position, because Vegeta's not really interested in that. But I could see him further becoming a better martial artist by utilizing Beerus' God of Destruction philosophy. If I missed any points, feel free to leave them down below. I hope you liked this video. Have a great day.